In this session, we are going to talk about a special type of transducers, that is biochemical transducers. So we had studied in the earlier sessions that we have some biochemical signals also coming from human body. That is basically when we take some sample from the human body, either it might be blood or it might be some other body fluid or any other substance. When we take the sample from the body, take it to the lab, and when we perform certain chemical reactions or chemical activities with that, whatever signal, whatever information it provides is called biochemical signal. Now whenever we have to obtain and or record the biochemical signals, it is very important to have specialized type of transducers, okay, which we put in the category of biochemical transducers. Right. So the usual method of measuring the concentration of ions or gases in any substance or any fluid is to use one electrode that is sensitive to the substance or that ion being measured, and choose the second one, which is insensitive towards that substance. So the insensitive one is actually a reference electrode, and the one which is sensitive towards the substance being measured is called the active electrode. So the idea is that one reference electrode is something whose potential does not change, okay, which does not actually react towards the substance that we want to measure. So we consider that as a reference. Reference itself means that we are considering the potential of that particular electrode as zero reference. And with respect to the potential of that electrode, we will be measuring the potential that is developed in the active electrode, which is actually sensitive towards the substance that we want to measure or the ion that we want to measure. So with respect to the concentration of that particular ion or gas in the fluid, or in the electrolyte, the active electrode will develop certain potential and the reference electrode will actually not change any potential of itself. So when we compare the two, the reference is considered as zero potential, and with respect to that, we can actually measure how much potential the active electrode has developed. And from that current, we can actually find out what is the concentration of the concerned ion in the electrolyte, in the substance or the fluid that we were considering. Okay, so there are basically four types of biomedical transducers that we are going to talk about over here: reference electrode, pH electrode, blood gas electrode, and specific ion electrode. First of all, let us see what is a reference electrode. Now, one of the common reference electrodes that we use is hydrogen electrode. Okay, these electrodes, they make use of the principle that an inert metal such as platinum, it readily absorbs hydrogen gas. So if a properly treated piece of platinum is partially immersed in the solution containing hydrogen ions and is also exposed to the hydrogen gas which is passed through the electrode, an electrode potential is formed. Okay, however, sometimes the hydrogen electrode is not sufficiently stable to serve as a good reference electrode. Further, the problem of maintaining the supply of hydrogen to pass through the electrode during the measurement limits its usefulness to a few special applications. So basically, the idea over here is that we use some inert metal. Okay, we have maybe it is platinum or even some other inert metal can be used over here. So that fine wire is made, and on one side that wire is actually dipped into a liquid or an electrolyte which has hydrogen. Okay, or on the other side it is exposed to hydrogen gas, pure hydrogen gas. So the same whatever we studied earlier in the electrolysis, the reaction takes place, the electrolysis takes place, and within itself there is some potential developed and an equilibrium is formed. Okay, and there are no further changes. When you dip this electrode into any other electrolyte, there won't be any further changes in the potential. So we consider this as zero potential, or you can say as a reference electrode. Okay, so we can use hydrogen over here. If not hydrogen, then there are other types of reference electrodes like silver-silver chloride combination can be used, or calomel electrode, that is mercurous chloride. Mercury and mercurous chloride can be used as you know, the reference electrode. Okay. Now, in case of silver chloride electrode, the ionic side, that is the silver chloride of the interface, is connected to the solution by an electrolytic bridge, usually a dilute potential potassium chloride filling solution, which forms a liquid junction with the sample solution. The electrode can be successfully employed as a reference electrode if the KCl solution is also saturated with precipitated silver chloride. The electrode potential for the silver chloride reference electrode depends on the concentration of the KCl. Right. Calomel is actually the another name for mercurous chloride, a chemical combination of mercury and chloride ions. The interface between mercury and mercurous chloride generates the electrode potential. By placing the calomel side of the interface in the potassium chloride filling solution, the electrolytic bridge is formed to the sample solution from which the measurement is to be made. The calomel electrode and the silver chloride electrode, they are very stable over long periods, and therefore they are very well used as reference electrodes. So you have hydrogen electrodes, silver chloride, or mercurous chloride combinations which can be used. Hydrogen is somewhat unstable, so silver chloride and mercurous chloride electrodes, they are very popularly used as reference electrodes. Okay, then the next one is pH electrode. Now, pH is one of the most important measurements used for the indication of chemical balance in human body. Right, the pH is directly related to the hydrogen ion concentration in any fluid, and we can measure it with the formula pH is minus log of hydrogen concentration, or we can say log to the base 10 of 1 upon the concentration of hydrogen ions. Okay, pH, of course, we all know it is a measure of acid-base balance in a fluid. If pH is 7, it is almost neutral. If pH is less than 7, it is acidic in nature. If pH is greater than 7, then it is basic in nature. Okay, now most of the human body fluids, they are slightly basic, and the pH of normal arterial blood ranges between 7.38 and 7.42, right? Now, it is known that a thin glass membrane, it allows the passage of only hydrogen ions in the form of H3O plus. This fundamental is used to measure the pH of the body fluids using a glass electrode. Now, a glass electrode provides a membrane interface for hydrogen. Measurement of the potential across the glass interface is achieved by placing a silver chloride electrode in the solution inside the glass bulb of the glass electrode, and the reference electrode in the solution in which the pH is to be measured. So if you see over here in the figure, you can see this is the figure of a pH electrode. So over here you can see that there is one glass body within which we have two electrodes. Okay, one is the age. If you see on the shorter one, that is AgCl reference electrode is there. Reference electrode internal solution is there, and the bulb kind of structure that you see over here, this is actually a glass which which is which acts like a semi permeable membrane. This glass membrane, when you dip it into any fluid, it will allow the hydrogen ions to pass through it in terms of H3O2, H3O plus, sorry. Okay, so it goes there, and AgCl covered silver wire is, you can see it is dipped over there. With this AgCl and the hydrogen ions that are entering into the bulb, a reaction takes place and a potential develop. Oxidation reduction reactions take place. A potential is developed, and since you can see where at the top it is written wires to pH meter, so it actually, you have a meter in between, and then it is connected to this reference electrode, so it completes the circuit. So this AgCl is actually considered as zero potential, and whatever potential is developed on this wire, AgCl covered silver wire, in reaction or in when coming in contact with the hydrogen ions, so a current that develops is actually proportional to the hydrogen ions that have entered into this solution from the bulb, which was acting as a semi-permeable membrane. So it completes the circuit, a current starts flowing, and we can actually measure how much potential this AgCl covered silver wire has developed with respect to the reference electrode. So reference electrode, since we consider it zero potential, whatever value we get is actually the potential developed over here, and that potential can actually, we can, from that we can find out what is the concentration of H plus ions. Okay, and that putting into this formula will give you the pH value. The glass electrode is quite adequate for pH measurements in the physiological range, that is around 7, but it may produce considerable error when you go towards the extreme, that is if the values are 13 to 14, then normal glass might produce erroneous results. So basically, special hydroscopic glasses are made that readily absorb water, and they provide the best pH response. Then we have blood gas electrodes. Now, partial pressures of oxygen and carbon dioxide, they are two most important gaseous measurements that are made from the blood solution. The partial pressure of a dissolved gas is actually the contribution of that gas to the total pressure of all dissolved gases in the blood. The partial pressure of the gas is actually proportional to the quantity of that gas in the blood, right? The effectiveness of both respiratory and cardiovascular systems is reflected in these important parameters. So blood gas electrode actually means that we want to find out what is the partial pressure of one particular gas in blood, and that partial pressure will actually give us the in result it will give us how much concentration of that gas is present in the blood solution. Okay, so partial pressure of oxygen PO2 is often we call it as oxygen tension. Okay, the popular term that we used for partial pressure of oxygen is oxygen tension. Now, a fine piece of platinum or some other noble metal wire, it is embedded in glass for insulation purposes with only the tip exposed. This kind of electrode is placed in an electrolyte in which oxygen is allowed to diffuse. Okay. If a voltage of about zero point 0.7 volt is applied between the platinum wire and the reference electrode, with the platinum wire being negative, reduction of oxygen takes place at the platinum cathode. As a result, the oxidation reduction current proportional to the partial pressure of diffused oxygen can be measured. The electrolyte is generally sealed into a chamber that holds the platinum wire and the reference electrode by means of membrane across which the dissolved oxygen can diffuse from the blood. If you see the figure over here, we have one reference electrode that is inert. Now, reference electrode everywhere, wherever it is coming into picture, it is actually insensitive towards whatever measurement we want to make. So, external reference electrode that we are putting over here will be considered as zero potential. Okay, and the other one that you see, that is actually the electrode which is going to be sensitive towards the, suppose we are considering oxygen, so it will be sensitive towards the oxygen ions. Now in that electrode you can see that there is a selective membrane. Okay, the bottom one in cyan color that you see, that is a blood sample. Then that blue colored selective membrane is actually a semi-permeable membrane which will allow only the oxygen ions to pass through it. Okay, when the oxygen ions from the blood solution, they will pass from the selective membrane, they will come in contact with the electrode, and oxidation reduction reaction will take place. So a current starts flowing into the circuit. Now this oxidation reduction current that starts flowing is actually proportional to the partial pressure of the oxygen that has diffused from the blood into the reference solution. Okay, because oxidation reduction reaction is taking place only because of oxygen ions. So when the oxygen, whatever current is actually being generated, it is proportional to the concentration of oxygen that has passed from there. So that current we can measure, and with the help of that current, we can actually find out what concentration of oxygen is present in the blood solution, right? Then we have specific ion electrodes. Now, specific ion electrode is actually nothing but similar to the blood gas electrode. Over here, like we know that earlier we have seen, like for pH we were using a glass membrane which was a selective membrane for H plus ions. Okay, then in specific blood gas electrode we have seen that we are using a semi-permeable membrane which can actually separate oxygen ions from blood sample. Similarly, if you want to measure the carbon dioxide partial pressure, you use a semi-permeable membrane which can actually separate the carbon dioxide from the blood solution. Okay, so over here, specific ion electrode is nothing. It is similar to what we were seeing in the specific in the blood gas electrode. Just that the a membrane that is placed. Now this will be designed as per the ion. Okay, it might be sodium ion, chlorine ion, potassium ions, any ions that you want to particularly measure into the fluid. The difference is just that the semi-permeable membrane or the membrane that you are designing has to be such that it allows those particular ions to pass through, and it should block all the others. Okay, so these are some of the biochemical transducers or electrodes which we use for measuring the chemical compositions, for measuring the concentrations in various body fluids, and the resultant, of course, it is a transducer because that chemical reaction or the chemical concentration is actually being converted into electric current. So we have four types of biochemical transducers, and these they help in measuring various types of chemical concentrations or chemical constituents of the body fluids.